Hello. I had a request to do a video specifically on my healing progression, the first year of healing. So I did the lion diet. I literally just ate Billy Doe meats, lamb, salt, and water for 1 year. And in that year, I reversed every diagnosis. I was diagnosed with over 10 autoimmune diseases, chronic Lyme disease, chronic CDiff, which almost took my life. That was why I got down to 69 pounds at 5'6". I was diagnosed with so many different things, and many of these things were life-threatening, including crest scleroderma, and the CDiff was definitely life-threatening. And so the progression, let's see, the first 2 weeks, I noticed a significant improvement in my mood and my energy. Prior to this, I was diagnosed with multiple mood disorders. I took clonazepam, Ambien, and Adderall for 13 years to help with the mood disorders. And honestly, they just kind of made me a zombie. They stole a lot of my personality. So getting off of those was amazing. But what was really amazing was actually healing and seeing parts of my personality come back. And so within the first 2 weeks of the lion diet, I noticed my mood was improved. I was not in this like dark place in my mind. I wasn't dealing with constant anxiety. I wasn't getting the OCD things that I dealt with all the time, like random lines of songs on loop in my head. I had weird tics. I struggled with skin picking. Those things left out the door within 2 weeks. That was amazing and life-changing, and that alone was enough for me to stick with it. The second thing that I noticed in just 2 weeks was better energy. I wasn't dragging myself out of bed in the morning. I woke up and I was like, oh, another day, instead of really dreading another day of life. And that again was enough for me to stick with it. Moving on from there, I noticed just feeling stronger in my body. Obviously recovering from being emaciated, not being able to gain weight for years, felt amazing. I didn't have any issues with gaining weight. It felt good. There's such a difference gaining weight with foods that support your hormones versus foods that don't support your hormones. You don't have that sensation that you want to rip out of your own skin. You don't feel fat. You feel strong. You feel vibrant. So I was feeling more energized, more vibrant, stronger, just brighter in my outlook and my mood. I had more clarity in my thinking. I had more confidence. Like me talking to you, posting this on YouTube, that wasn't me before. I was not that person. I had severe social anxiety. I would get tension headaches all the time just socializing with even close people. Even my best friend, I would get tension headaches because I was so anxious all the time. It riddled my life. So those were huge. And then the autoimmune issues just went away. I will say another thing that happened immediately is the ulcerative colitis that I had stopped in the emergency room that I started the carnivore diet on. So that stopped within a day. Literally, I had blood in my stools. I was involuntarily throwing up. Those symptoms stopped in their tracks. Never had another ulcerative colitis symptom again. A lot of the digestive issues that I was dealing with, the CDiff went away. No more, I hate to talk about the details because it's gross, but no more mucus in my stool, no more foul smelling stool, no more diarrhea, uncontrollable diarrhea, no more cramping in my stomach and bloating. All of that was gone. So digestive things came next, I would say. I noticed that my skin and my hair were improving. They just looked healthier, more full, vibrant, obviously because I was absorbing nutrients and I was only eating the most nutrient-dense foods. Doing the switch to Billy Doe meats, which was a game changer for me, they are non-aged, so my histamine symptoms went away as well. That histamine intolerance resolved. It took time, but it is completely resolved. So I can eat aged meat, I eat aged cheese, fermented foods, things from cans, vinegars. I don't have any histamine reactions to those things. That didn't happen overnight, but it improved pretty quickly to where I wasn't living with those symptoms anymore, but I did eat non-aged meat for a year. So I was managing the symptoms, but eventually they did dissipate completely. That took time. I believe that involves healing and sealing the gut, which takes time. My thyroid healed at about the 6-month mark. I had hypothyroidism and I also had Hashimoto's, and both of those resolved. And so that was exciting. And then I would say the last thing to resolve was my period. I hadn't had a cycle for 16 years and I got it back. It was at like a year, a little past a year mark on the Lion diet. I weighed 104 pounds and I got my period. And I wasn't even sure if I would ever get a period back, to be honest. So that was life-changing and so exciting. But that was probably the thing that took the longest. All of the autoimmune stuff, it went into remission and then eventually was fully reversed with labs to confirm. So when I say that, I don't just mean it's below 30 antibodies or whatever. What I mean is it's 0, as if it were never there to begin with. And so that is possible for anyone, and that's my hope for anyone that I work with. I was not on thyroid medication, so for someone who is dealing with hypothyroidism for 15 years and they're on medication, it might take you longer than 6 months, but it took me about 6 months to reverse the hypo that I was dealing with. And then from there, I was able to reintroduce other foods, so food intolerance obviously resolved. I took my time reintroducing other foods. I think I could have reintroduced more foods sooner than I did. I actually waited 2.5 years before I had my first non-carnivore food, which was a strawberry slice. And I still went really slow with food reintroductions just because nothing is worth sacrificing the quality of my life and getting the ability to live again. But I've done so well. I haven't reacted to a single thing that I've reintroduced, including homemade sourdough bread. I make einkorn sourdough. For my husband, I make it even when I'm not eating it currently, just because I don't crave it, not because I don't tolerate it. I reintroduced produce, so like in-season produce, apples, berries, squash, tomatoes, mushrooms. I do peanut butter, but only from peanut butter powder because I am not a fan of seed oils, so I stay away from natural peanut butter because it is a seed oil. So I get the peanut butter powder and I tolerate that. I can eat that with some homemade jam, no sugar added jam if I want to. Those aren't things I eat regularly, but they're things that I tolerate that I really didn't think I would ever tolerate again. Reintroducing other foods is also something that happened, but with time. And that's because I wanted to take my time. So yeah, that's my general timeline. It took years to develop into where I'm at now. It took years to even my, I built a lot of muscle and endurance and strength. That took years to develop. I just started with body weight, even when I was ready with that. At one point, I couldn't even hold my own head up. And so don't rush your process. Everyone has a different timeline because everyone has a different context and different history and different set of cards they're working with, both genetically and environmentally. What kind of a support system do you have? What kind of environment do you live in? All of these things contribute to your timeline for healing. They do play a factor in your experience, is what I'm trying to say. So don't take this as a prescription. This is what it's going to look like for you. But I can generally gauge. There are some things that just take longer. Healing the thyroid is one of them. Reversing insulin resistance is another one. Getting your cycle back, if you haven't had it for a long time, it can take time, but it works with high fat. So a lot of it is just having faith and staying consistent and letting that do the work. A lot of times it's just about the boring things that you do every day that really over time make all the difference. So I hope this encourages someone, and that was pretty detailed and elaborate. If you have any questions or specifics, feel free to leave it in a comment below. And if you have any more video requests, leave them in the comments below.